and I'm here to talk about a very passionate project that we have going on in San Diego right now, which is currently called the Probation Field Contact Mobile Application. What we're going to go over real quick here is our strategies, why did we develop it, go over some of the storyboards, and then go over an online or a PowerPoint type presentation or demo that I have. And in addition to that, in the back of the room, I have the application. It's up and running. Please stop by and we'll give you a demo. Right now, it's called the probation. One thing I wanted to point out is that it is called a probation contact log. It's a case management system. So it's a case management system that we are tailoring right now to work with our probation departments. But it's a case management system that could work with anybody. So after seeing this, I could give you some user stories where we're utilizing this technology within the county and other areas other than the probation department. So what we do is we have a problem. We need to manage our probationers. We need access to them. When our probation officers go out, they need valid authorization and who they're talking to is who they really are. They want to ensure that we can get more parental interaction with the case logs. There's a caseload that each of the probation officers have. Whether it's a probation officer, a social worker, everybody has a caseload. So what we want to do is bring the ability to manage your caseload out in the field. So what we've done is, here's the business case. Okay, right now, the probation officers, they go into the office. First thing in the morning, what they'll do is they'll pull up their contact log, and they'll map out who they're going to go visit. They're going to go visit by either last visit, by a possible alert, maybe their Title 4E that they need to go visit. This is especially helpful now, especially with the AB 109. So they get their case plan written down, they go out into the field and they start interviewing. They go from probationer 1 to probationer 2, taking field notes, writing on their clipboard. They're doing all of this information manually. Then they're driving back to the office, hopping back into the case management system, retranslating all of that into a system that we have at San Diego called PCMS, Probation Case Management System. But again, it's any type of case management system. So what we've done is we've created something we call a contact log. Now what the probation officers do is they can come in the morning, they can log on to their application on their mobile phone. They could download every one of their contacts onto their phone. They could flag who they want to go to, and then start heading out for their day to meet all of their probation. Some of the statistics here I just go over very quickly is that we determined that by doing this particular caseload management system, is that we are saving over 15,000 hours a year on the probationers to be able to then take those hours and apply them more in the field for face-to-face contacts with their probationees. This is just like the day in the life of a probation officer. You get the caseload management, you need to have all of the lab information, the drug tests. You need to understand that there's a caseworker themselves. In some cases, there could be multiple. We also have the cases themselves. What was the outcome of the case? What did the courts, type of probation did the courts apply to that individual? All that information the probation officer needs to know. So what we did is we sat down with our public safety group. Actually, this is a very much of a brainchild of our public safety group in San Diego. We sat down with them and we came up with a storyboard. And this is an example of what our mobile app looks like. Okay? What you see here is the caseload. That is the individual caseload that the probation officer or caseworker would bring up on their phone. They can download the entire caseload. They can scroll up down. They could flag who they want. If they're looking for somebody special, they can find a probationer, typically, just by putting into the search. When they find that particular probation, they get what they call a face sheet. We'll use a pointer on here. This is our face sheet. The face sheet does is brings up an image of the individual and a whole bunch of other stuff that you'll see. So we now know what Jake Black looks like. Okay. On that face sheet, you have their identification, you have their description, you have their cases, you have their court orders, you have their AKAs, you have their tattoos, you have their address, you have who they're living with, and your relatives. All of that comes with phone numbers, addresses. You click on the phone number, it will call. You're on a mobile device. If you're not sure where they live, you click on the address, up will pop the driving directions for you to get there. You also have a contact history log. So you can go to that log and see past contacts that you or other probation officers might have had with that individual. And you can also add your own contact. So as I said, here's what the caseload looks like. It has a sort feature by either the last contact, a drug test, a zip code, or an alert. And for any case management system, you can tailor this to whatever it is you want. For instance, an aging and independent services in our area is looking at this. They wouldn't have, last drug test. They would have last home visit or last physician's appointment or whatever is needed. In this case, this is also color-coded. Color-coded by either a juvenile or adult probationers. The case sheet, this is a mugshot of Carlos. Carlos is a gang member. He's part of the kids' gang member. Okay. And as I said down there, you'll see the different areas: identification, description, cases, and underneath the mugshot, if you want to call it that, are alerts that pop up. Alerts that you should know, like their Title 4E, or they're highly dangerous. They're the gang member of some gang that's not a good gang. I don't know the gang name, sorry. When I do my drive along, I'll know all the gang names then. This is a contact history, okay? So what this is showing you here is in 2013, Carlos has had 17 visits. Again, this could be any visit with any case management system that you have. You can click, touch, whatever you want, any of those, and it brings up the information as to the past visit. You also have the ability, right there in the field, to do your own contact. You bring it up. In this particular example, it was a face-to-face visit. The probationer was at Camp Barracks, which is a camp in San Diego. And you're able to voice to text all the information that you need to capture, that you used to capture on your little notepad, voice to text, save it on the phone, and it goes up to your case management system. That should have been applause. So, there's a lot of technology behind this. I'm not techie. My colleague over there is my techie guy. But this Russ, you'll be meeting Russ soon. But you're worried about security. You have to log on to the system with your phone. So first off, you got to log on to the county network. Then you got to log on to the actual application itself to get the data pulled out. It's all through JSON. I'm not sure what it means, but it's all through JSON. And we have a SQLite encrypted database on the phone itself. Communication goes back and forth from the phone to our case management system, in this case, which is a PCMS. It has 5 layers We have a mobile device management system. AirWatch is who we use. Again, VPN into the county. You have to log into the actual PCMS application itself. And then the application right now, which is written in Android, is written so that it has its own little space, its own little sandbox, so it doesn't interplay with any of the other applications on your phone. An example of that was given to me was, you know, you load an app down and it wants to know, hey, can we pull your contacts down from Facebook, or we pull your information down from this other app? That's not the case. It doesn't work that. You need a password and a PIN. One of the good things with our mobile device management is if, say, you lost the phone. Well, with the MDM, we have the ability to wipe that phone completely clean. So that none of that information that's on the phone is traceable, recoverable, or able to be used by anybody. Okay. This is next steps. We call this application our Probation Case Management app. It's part of a suite of applications that we're going to call PUMA, Probation Utility Management Apps. And this is the first phase. We're really excited where this is going. We want to add location-based services to it so that the supervisors, the probation officers will be able to know where every one of his officers are. Because we're going to be using the geo-tracking on the phone to be able to track them. We're going to put something on it that is a community resource directory so that when the probation officer is out there with their probationee, and they're like, yeah, you know, I really wanted to sign up for a community college, but I don't know where any are. Well, guess what? Right there in the field, they'll be able to pull them up and provide them with that information. One of the things that I think is really cool is that identification and security with body-worn cameras. That's going to be our next big step. So what we want to do is we want to provide the case manager, the probation officer, out in the field with the ability to take a picture, and there's different ways we can do that. That's another conference. But they can take a picture of an individual, and the probation officer will know indiscreetly on their phone that that person that's sitting in the living room where there was only supposed to be grandma, grandpa, and two brothers and a sister, he's a bad guy. He's a really bad guy that was worn out for his arrest, so probation officer is just there doing his thing. We know where he is, and the proper unit's being rolled to that location. Take care of it. That's the future. That's our next steps with the application. And it's really exciting for San Diego, and again, it's a case management system. So our Health and Human Services Agency is also looking at it for adult protective services. And there's a few other instances into which we could use this app. So. Any questions? Please check there by the gold balloon, and I'll be more than glad to give you a demo.
Thank you, Gina. Yeah, we got one more presentation. We're going to take a break, and you can do some of that wandering. While we're getting ready for the next presentation, I should mention that a lot of the technologies that we're talking about today, the foundational items like AirWatch is already being implemented in the city of Anaheim. So some of the things